the best. That's dead or not. You just get garbage. More dagger. Dagger, 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 dagger. Go down, boys. Get cracking. Go down, boys. It's stuck in, boys. Go down, boys. Get cracking. Go down, boys. It's stuck in, boys.
Good evening, hello, welcome to Lazy Mini Painting. I've got lights on it because they are the Christmas tree lights that came with it. But tonight is the Oak stage. I'm guessing I didn't manage to make it down for the song finishing. No matter how hard I try, I can never time things right. There's always something wrong. I've always forgotten something or I'm late. One or the other. I hope I'm not blasting everybody's eardrums out. And how are you all doing this evening? I have no idea if anyone's even in at this moment in time. I'm going to come and join portrait mode now, so just hold on a sec, I will be there. And just say hello to you all, because you at least stopped and paid attention and said, ooh, what's that? And this complete raving lunatic that's got an idea one day. Well, no. Yeah, no. I was given something. I was given the idea by Steve, of course. Jonathan, hello. It's been a while since you've been in, mate. It's been a while since you've been in. See, I told you, I've got these, so I can read it. I've got it there because it doesn't always pop up very well. See, the first one where it says, "Hey man, it's been a while," hasn't popped up in the little green box for me, but the next one did. So knows what's going on with that. Right, I can turn this on now because I need to move it and you need to get access to it. So how's you been? I don't know how many times I've got to press this to turn it off. I've probably turned it off once because I was looking at the screen and not the actual lights. That's, yeah. What? I thought I'd pressed it enough to turn it off. Right, that's on, so that's 8. So that should be off. Right, now I've got to try and get them from the back of this now. Pain in the rear end just getting them in there in the first place. They will eventually be going up round the tops here. That's the idea. That eventually. I've not been too bad. Yeah. Basically, I've been normal for me. Probably not normal for everybody else, but normal for me, which is all I can ever ask for, really. I'd rather uneventful than bad. Oh, need to move the grots out of the way. But yeah. Thank you very much, Joe. It does well. I'm hoping he's gonna look better. Still, if I was to say a percentage-wise, about halfway done. But I've still got to finish off the rest of the other grots, which there should be another 2 around somewhere, and I can't, except for the one that's, sorry, can't see because of where it is. Thank you very much for the sub. Yeah, apart from this grot, who's right here at the top. He's glued in place. I can't move him. There's these three, which this guy goes down here. Good evening, Lee, and good evening, Ali, as well, over on the horizontal mode, because it is running in both, by the way. If you're watching it on a laptop and it just happens to have come through on a scrolling, you can jump over to the horizontal mode. Not too much of a difference, I don't think. But if you're on phone, obviously stay here because it's designed for phones. If you wouldn't mind, there's one of them. He's fallen down and he's got trapped in a speaker. Haha. So there's 4 of them. There's four of them. There should be another should be another one, and I'm not sure where he is. And obviously we've got the band as well, which needs to come off if I'm going to be painting the stage. Because although I've focused on the view from this angle, as soon as you turn it from certain other angles, because I've not done the sides properly, it loses a lot of its effect. And although I'm not as bothered about the actual back of it, because hopefully it'll be up against something and nobody will be going around the back of it, because that's where all the wires are for the plug and things, I do need to get the sides. So all the band and the stage crew have to come off, and the 2 barricades, which I've realised I have done in extremely arky fashion. Because even though the band are quite well done in red and yellow, what I have realised is when I painted up these barricades, I've painted the one for the red side yellow and the one for the yellow side red. Because, yeah, I was stupid, because essentially this section here matches the curve of the actual, let's see if I can just briefly, it matches this curve here. Good evening, Twisted. Do we have anyone else? We have Ronaldo. Hello. Didn't see you pop in there. Not quite sure what that is. And Mark, yes, we are doing 40k. And that's supposed to go on, I'll move the camera too far over now. And that's supposed to go on that side there. So the red barricade is on the yellow side, and the yellow barricade is on the red side. Completely by accident, but happens to be very arky. They wouldn't care about keeping it all the same if it was something that was put on after. Whereas this one, they've obviously just painted it all in red, and this side they just painted all in yellow at once, and bits have gone. It's not neat and crisp like the Imperium would have it. But it would still actually be painted from the side. So that is what we're going to have to do tonight. Which means I've got to move this and be extra careful not to smack the camera, which I do often enough with my own head. And then we get to look at it from the side. And as you can see now is a bit of a different thing, isn't it? Because now we can see all the bits here that have been missed. And if I move it this way, you can see the yellow bits where they need filling in, and some of the extra bits on the Gretchen, but it's too bloody tall. So there are bits that I've now got to fill in manually, and the guns as well. The sides of the guns, you can see grey bits and bits that haven't been filled in yet. Now that can be done quite easily with just a little bit of brown or metallic and then a wash. It's nothing too strenuous, but still something that needs to be done. So tonight is clearing up all the... Can I... Oh, my light that's too bright, that's why. And then I can up the... Hopefully I can sort this out so you can actually see some of the detail and the stuff that I'm talking about. And if we can actually get it in the right place. Hopefully that helps, because you can actually see more of what I'm going to be painting. Good evening, Buzzard. Good evening. Thank you everybody for coming in tonight. Right, I'm about to start and I still don't have a clue what I'm doing. 4 years in this, and yeah, this is what happens when you decide therapy, not YouTube. Where's even start? Right, I will need, at least to start, I'm going to have to go with the Pro Girl bronze and some just standard steel ish colour, just to fill in the metal parts and change them all around. This is gonna be fun. I've got water, I've got brushes. Is that little bit of a delay on the song going to be the only thing that I've forgotten or miscalculated tonight? I don't know. Let's find out. But I just had a sneaking suspicion that I've forgotten something again. I always have that, I know. And if it ever came to it and I actually did remember everything, I know you would all be shocked. Is anyone working on anything particular tonight? Anything fun, anything new? And I know Twist is working on something. He's posted pictures of those Terminators. So we are well aware of that. And Lee probably in the spray booth. Right. Please don't ask me what that was. So yeah, gunmetal first. So that's the bronze I've just put down. That was more for my benefit than yours, by the way. It's just remembering where I've just put stuff, because I can put stuff down and it could be on camera and I'll still lose it. The end's clogged. Why is the end clogged? Probably because this was part of the donation and I've not used it yet. Apart from the test to see if it would actually work. So and this was one of the few that actually did, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've actually had to dig one of them out, but I am running low on lead belt chip. So any other of those standardish steel colours will do. So the Vallejo variant in this case, which I think it's actually just called gunmetal. I've not muted my phone. So that means that's going to be going beep 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 while I sit here fiddling around with a very, very sharp implement and trying not to ruin the nozzle on the paint. I don't think I have any spare nozzles, which is why I don't want to ruin it. Sorry if I'm not paying attention at this moment in time. Hey up, Graham. How was the lad? How was the craft mine? How far into the stream? Yeah, oh yeah, well and truly. Who built the giant penis first? Because I'm sorry, it's two grown men on Minecraft. Somebody's building a penis at some point. Just to go, hey, look, check this out. And then you walk over, oh, for God's sakes. So even if it's just for that reaction, somebody is not wishing to come out of this. That is not a good sign. Okay, I do have the last little bit of lead belcher available, but I didn't want to be using too much of it. Ooh, you're offering me a tour. I don't want to see somebody's giant built stone blocky square why would you want to show me that? You could screenshot that, unless you built it that big that you can't screenshot it, in which case that's just ridiculous. And this is why I don't play Minecraft. Well, one of the reasons. Another reason is I'm aware how dangerous the bloody game could be. And a game like Minecraft could be one of those games that you would never see me again. I'm fully aware of that because of what you can do with it on a PC. Because obviously you can get command prompt access and you get a lot more use out of it on the PC than you do on the standard console edition. Just because of what you can do with PCs. And I've been in those type of creator things before. And I get lost, and you never see me. People were phoning me to check I was alright. So I stay away from those games. Or if I am going to play them, at least make sure it's not my copy of it I'm playing. Take, for instance, Crimson Desert. I do not own Crimson Desert. I would like to own Crimson Desert. But, yeah. I won't own Crimson Desert because for the same reason. That is so much on that game. However, Cody's playing Crimson Desert at the moment, and he's more than happy for me to go around and help him out. Beat up a few things, go do a few missions, etc, etc. So, I play it vicariously, kind of. That way it doesn't get me completely absorbed, and I don't get lost forever. We want to go for a reasonably largish brush this time. You don't play like that? How don't you play? How do you play Minecraft? Because yeah, I have the habit of going, right, I need this block, redstone, blah 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 blah, put it all in my inventory, and go try and make a supercomputer. I'd be one of those type of people. So obviously if you play Minecraft differently. Oh, you just play vanilla survival. Ah, okay. Fair enough. So you just basically try Ender Pearls, Ender Dragon, more the story base than creative base. Because even multiplayer on creative base, I imagine the game can be quite good. Am I even on camera for the bit that I'm painting? Nope. It is right down here at the bottom though. Well, I am for one and I'm not for the other. So if you're on portrait, you're actually getting a better view at the moment. So if you're on main screen and you want to switch over to portrait because of this, I don't blame you. Portrait is getting the better view of what is happening tonight. And I don't know why. It's usually the other way around. And I'm not sure why portrait is getting... I'm not complaining. It's about time portrait got some love where it came to the visuals. And thank you all who are in there. Hello, welcome. If you wish to stay and chat and become part of... I don't know what this is building up around me, but there's certainly something that's slowly building. Yeah, you're welcome. Come in, say hello, talk to us. Although you can't see the green box as easily, they can see it, and if necessary, I will transfer it over, almost as an intermediary, which is probably not what I'm supposed to be doing, but whatever's necessary, whatever's needed. We're all supposed to be here to enjoy this, not just me. I'm supposed to be here for therapy, so it's more like I need to talk to you a lot rather than paint, and paint's just something for me to do with my hands, so I don't go outside and smoke. So for anyone new here, that is pretty much the reason for this. Everybody's gone. Okay. I think even everybody in the other one. There's this bit, I think even Graham went on, I'm not dealing with him tonight, which is like this, bugger that. I don't know what I'm going to be like tonight. I have got a couple of ideas in my head regarding past projects. I don't know if anyone's seen in Discord, I have put a few 4 stat sheets up at the moment. Ali, yours is one of them for the Barbarian Bunny Rabbit. We also have Sparkles and Oak, obviously title characters, and we have Shamash the Paladin. We now have a name for the lizard, which is it Gizzard? I think this has been suggested a couple of times. How you doing, mate? Well, it is a long time no see. I tend not to catch a lot of yours, but I have been lurking a little bit, so to speak, which sounds weird, I know, but basically I've been in there. I've just not been chatting. I've been doing stuff around the house while you've been, and you've been doing some good stuff, mate. Been doing some good stuff. I'd like to see you use a pencil though, just to maybe try a different medium. Eventually I'll be trying different methods of painting as well. Maybe in a year or two you might actually see me try non-metallic metal. I don't know, but I'm going to have to advance my painting as I get better, which I am doing slowly over the years. Yeah, give actual paper, watercolors, maybe even paint. Your physical use of actually controlling lines is quite good. I'm interested to see what you could do with other mediums. Clutch, how you doing? You need to quit smoking. Yeah. For job hunt reasons, and painting does. It is a good. Well, it's not really a distraction in this case. It is something to do with my hands. But even if it's something to do with my hands, if I don't have something to keep, I've got ADHD. It's not been confirmed as anything other than that at the moment. So I'm just gonna go with that at the moment. So as the reason why I struggle to, brain and hands don't always have to be doing the same thing. So to keep my hands busy and painting, but I also talk. I talk to all of you. Like Bradley, hello. Bradley, at the moment I am filling in the side bits that I missed when I focused on the front of this project. In fact, we have a few viewers in at the moment who probably have no idea of what this is and how it goes. Yeah, from the front, it looks a bit different. It looks like that. But from the sides, it doesn't look that good. So we're kind of when I was on about drawing and, as I said, your actual, we'll call it pen control, because I'm assuming you're using a stylus. But your pen control's good. Your pen control's really good. As I said, I would be interested to see you using other mediums, paper, paint, canvas, expand. Yeah, I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. But that's why I'm interested, because I can see what you can do digitally. Which digitally you can do a lot of. You can erase a lot easier, and you can layer a lot easier, and you can make it cleaner a lot easier, but it removes a little bit of the humanity. Pen and paper, paint and canvas, whatever the other medium is, because it's more difficult to remove those slight imperfections, it allows a little bit more of the humanity that's drawn it to go into it, and obviously the less imperfections there are, more talented the person, and your control overall is good. So I should imagine there's going to be many imperfections. No worries. Thank you very much to Clutch. Yeah, every time someone says that, thank you very much. That makes me smile, because you aim for something, especially when you're kit bashing, and sometimes you're never quite sure if it's there. Did it need more? Did it need less? I know this has got a lot more to go on it, and again, thank you very much, Graham, for agreeing to that. That will be coming over to you next week, just to make sure this project isn't just a complete look up by the end. Then, yeah. But I have to fill in all the side pieces now, because I was an idiot and just focused on the front. As I said, I'm not bothered about the back, because, well, no one's ever going to see the back apart from me when I'm plugging it in. And if I ever do manage to get something akin to a designated painting area, oh yeah, I forgot to put that on. Yeah, I forgot to put that on mute. Let's just resolve that issue. That does help. See, I can't do much, but if the door knocks, can't do much about that. But I can at least do something about my phone. I want more silvery in this section's behind. And in here, because that's what gives it that kind of candy red colour when I put the red speed paint over it, which should be in that box there. See? I'm scaring myself. I'm too organised. What's going on? Somebody help! Oh, they are by far the most fun to kit bash. They are by far the most fun to kit bash. Although I do have various armies, so once I've done this, I think I should give them some love. He's been on World Eaters and Orcs recently, and he's gonna be more Orcs when 11th comes out, because that's the side I'm most excited. I'm most wanting. I wouldn't necessarily say excited about, although I am getting a Word Boy. I am getting a Word Boy. Never had a Word Boy before. It's gonna be fun. But it's more just so I can get replacement boys, rather than having to just dig out all the ones from in a tub that have been scrapping away and fighting for however many years they've been sat in there. So I'm going to rebuild as many of them as I can, but I'd like at least a nice fresh new starting batch just to go, there you go. Oh, thank you very much, Al. I shall check them out. Thank you very much. As I said, yeah, talent's talent, whether it be paintbrush, pen, stylus, and a lot of them cross over, and it's interesting to see an artist's work. Just in case there are anyone else who's thinking, I don't do this painting stuff, no idea what it is, chat away. We have other people who do other mediums of art in, well, at least in the main horizontal chat, just because that's generally where people stay more, I think. But we have lots of people from all over the place. Lucas, hello, welcome in. Are you a 40k player? Are you here as an artist, or are you just curious to see what the heck is going on and wondering who the lunatic is who's now talking to you directly, as though, yeah. But welcome in. As I said earlier, if you're on a laptop or anything and you happen to have been doom scrolling and you've come across me, feel free to hop over onto the horizontal one. Although, it's hard to say at the minute, because I still say portrait has the better view from the position that they're in, because they get all the bit that's not painted cut off, and they get to see the majority of what is painted, even down here where horizontal can't see. So no to you lot in horizontal tonight. Portrait have it. But it is a pain in the rear end having to come through, because some of these bits have already been painted silver. I just can't tell because I'm not wearing my glasses, and the light is not catching the silver enough for me to go, yeah, that's definitely got it. So I definitely need to get at least one layer of something shiny in there, and then remember which bits I've done silver and go over some other bits in the bronze in a minute. In fact, I think I'm just going to paint the entire Vulcan cannon bronze, which is this big whopping thing here with the red end. It is not what you think it. Stop being rude. Stop being rude. It is not what you think it is. Oh, the thought I've probably just put into your head. Either way, it's not. It's a Vulcan cannon. What is the one thing you like more than drawing? How? Because you draw a lot. Graham's laughing at me, waffling on about crap. But he knows. Graham knows what I mean by I need something for my head to do even though my hands are busy. He understands, which is why it's probably not a good idea to get us into the room with each other, because one might set the other one off in a way that we don't want. I'm planning this, along with the various other people that To be quite honest, if it weren't for the fact of the occasion and the same thing. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of people that would probably never would have met, might never speak to each other, but have the opportunity to speak to each other that never will ever normally. You love making... Right, I want to widen that just so I can read what house written. Yeah, damn right. I can't pronounce whatever it's supposed to be, but yeah, those 5 letters. I've not been diagnosed with the U though. But people keep telling me it's blatantly obvious, Laz. Oh. I've been like this for 42 years. It's your lot's problem. Lawmaking and stories. I've made so much. Ooh. Oh. See, this is why I want to brainstorm with you. You've probably come in at the perfect time. You're aware of the magical world of Sparkles Alone. I think you've seen a few of those streams. I'm now up to the character building stage. I have a base for the how they got there. No pun intended. But I'm more than happy for input and other things, as well as characters. And yeah, if you're a D&D fan as well, message. When's the best time? Because I'm just thinking of your timescale as well, because I am slightly aware of your timescale, and you will have different limitations to me. Essentially, I'm setting your limitations, and those very same limitations are the ones that I've got best. Louis, how are you doing? Welcome in. But yeah, how we do need. I think we need to talk about some lore and some characters between the two of us. I think we could get some interesting things going just off. Yeah. But then again, I also think we can get quite a few people that come and watch me, and thank you very much, all of you. If we was to be sat all properly, and in the chat, which is difficult to get me in, especially without something going on behind me. Yeah, I think creativity could flow, especially on the Magical World project, regarding the characters and lore, so we can get more people playing. As I said, 4 people, well, Sparkles and 3 other people can play at the moment. If you have a specific character you would want to play as, and you are willing to play, just download one of the sheets, make sure you can read it okay, and then B, let me know which character and we'll work on it together if you want, or I'll just build that character up if I've not already got them set out. There are certain characters that I've got set out, I just need to put them into sheets, and it's difficult because you don't get a lot of room because it's only a single sheet. I've tried to keep it as minimal as possible, but yeah. Lee, you've popped over to the other side. How do you do? Are you still in the spray booth? I'm glad you've come as well, Louis. I am here because, well, I'm here every Thursday and Monday if I can be. But if you've managed to catch one and you enjoy being here, then that makes me happy. Thank you very much. Welcome in, welcome in. What is it you're up to tonight? Are you listening to me waffle twaddle? Or are you doing a bit of artistry and painting yourself? Maybe you're gluing things together and getting slightly inebriated without meaning to. Because let's face it, the glue that this stuff uses, if you use a lot of super glue, you burn your eyes and you can do damage to yourself. Other things you can get other effects from if you do not use them responsibly. And even in this case, I try to use them as responsibly as I can with the way that I do things. Which I know that basically sounds like, lads, that just means you're just irresponsible with everything. Not everything. I just don't wear a mask every time I'm spraying, and sometimes I do use a little bit too much super glue when I'm not supposed to. Right, I've got to do this all again from the other angle yet. Did anyone catch the start, by the way? Because Streamlabs just doesn't like updating me very often and telling me what's going on. So, did anyone catch the start? And if they did the Christmas tree lights work? Because I don't want to put them back in again now. Well, we do. Oh, right. I know I should mask up. Yeah, you are good with demons. How? Let's see. What was your most enjoyed D&D character? Was Kratom, the Kensei monk, weapon based. Ooh. I've seen some of the characters you make, Howard. Some of them, you seem to tend towards the dark side. You seem to enjoy the dark side. Just with some of the world creating that I've seen, and I think everyone else has seen. So I don't think what you've done for that poor character, John. Especially knowing that John Wick at least had to lose his puppy before he went psycho and nuts. Monks. I'm looking for the monk, and I've got I've got two. Where's the otter? That's right. Silas is an otter monk, and he's a Way of the Shadow, if you know 5e. And Herman, the Way of the Open Hand Panda. They're the two monks that I have made at the moment. In fact, those are the two monks for the magical world of Sparkles and Oak. There's a lot of fighters, gotta admit. There's a few little familiars. So if you've got the ability to summon a familiar, then there are familiars for you to choose from. And we need to do the stat sheets for them because they're all going to be custom. Oh, so that sounds like quite a common story then, that one actually. How? So if you would like to, Lou, if you would like to play a different type of monk, then yeah, there's a couple there. I'm going to have to do a refresh of characters, aren't I? I'm going to have to actually do a video and go, these are the characters for the magical world of Sparkles and Oak, and work it through. How you doing, Gus? You okay? Thank you for coming in. Thank you very much for coming in. Green one I can't see all the time. Ooh, Terminators. See, this is why I keep... Right, I'm going to put the D&D book away for now and carry on paying. What? Yeah, Louis, that's the thought that keeps coming back to me, going, I should break my Space Marines down into different chapters. Essentially, I have about 400-500 Space Marines. I'm about to get more. So I'll have plenty of intercessors to pop around. But I'm thinking I should build different variants. So, for instance, Eradicators, Aggressors, Pyroblasters, I'll get done. Salamanders. Obviously, an Imperial Fist one will be flat out bolters. But I could put things like Sternguard and Terminators in there. Oh, I could also put the Assault Terminators in with Salamanders. That would be nice. Because they're, yeah, hammer and shield. They would good. Yeah, or I could do the flat out Terminator something else. Because I think by the time I put the Grey Knights ones together, I'll have about 40. It'll be 15 shooty ones and the rest and 25 melee. I don't think I've got enough hammers to do a 5-man melee squad. I've definitely not got enough shields. But I can do dual falchion to do the lightning claws. Not a problem, Ellie. Thank you for coming in. I hope you're not too tired from work and I've kept you up too late. And you go get some sleep and we will see you. I'll speak to you soon and I'll hopefully see you on Monday. Sorry, that's not even in shot there, is it? I'm painting this. And I'm going to need to put a little bit of blue on the back as well, I've just noticed. I know I said I weren't getting the back, but in certain cases it does make a difference because it's slightly further forward and you may see it from the side as opposed to the back. Such as pipe workings and anything that's slightly further forward than the actual back down here. Anything that's basically, yeah, this line forward, you've got a chance of seeing to a degree. And I know a lot of it's going to be bronze, but if it's got colour on it already, I'm going to try and avoid getting that. Oh no, I've never had any complaints, how? Oh shit. Did I just pay half of that thingy? That's karma for you, isn't it? In fact, Carm's not in tonight. Carm, where are you? Yep. Friggin'. And I need to keep an eye up on what's happening on both chats as well. So I'm sorry, Gus. I am. My hand keeps getting in the way of my phone screen, so keeping up on portrait is a bit of a struggle at this moment in time. Mainly because of the angles that I'm having to paint at today. It's not normally this. Spray paint primers and base coats. I use an airbrush to base coat pretty much everything. I did use rattle cans, but the smell's just horrendous. So I use an airbrush now, which is also how I do big block colours as well if I have to. Airbrushes are very, very handy. However, there is nothing wrong with just getting a bigger, just a slightly larger brush and going base, done. I've done that plenty of times as well. In fact, sometimes if I decided to start a model and it's say about this time, which is late in my house, I have kids, so I have people in bed at 10 o'clock at night, so I can't really be busting out a compressor and just spraying away, or not very often anyway, because it's just not fair on them, is it? So at that point I will just base coat it with a brush, and if it's a single model and a small model, just to make sure I've got everywhere, I'll base coat it with a brush, because I can dab it in and jab it in and make sure I get everywhere. How? I don't believe you. You told me enough about Inferno. There is no such thing as a good guy in Inferno. everybody's evil. It's worse than 40k. If it's not eating your soul, it's eating your brains. And if it's not eating your brains and eating your soul, it's turning you into... No. Oh, so you'd actually go for the rattle cans on metal twisted as opposed to the airbrush. See, the Vallejo... I've got Vallejo as well for my primer. The Vallejo primer, I accidentally got gloss, and even with the gloss, it's easy to beat back down, so it's not as dominant and not as glaring. I've got to try and turn this motherfucker around now. I'm not. Yeah, now I can get to the Vulcan cannon quite easily. And now I move the camera across. See? That's why it's good to have a camera on a bendy arm. Right, so now I can get to this side. See? This side. And of course on Monday we're about to paint in World Eaters. We've still got another 10 of those to go for the Berserkers. Just to make sure. I still need another 10 as well, so I think I'm going to have to wait for a little bit. I've seen a little bit of your Hollow War stuff. I've not seen all of it. I'm not sure on the rules of it. But that'll be a fun one. How? Go have a word with Graham and see how twisted you can make you really make your world. Between some... No. Graham, how's a kid? Careful. Louis, have you joined Discord? If not, it is free. I've got to do this now. Just never mind. This is where my computer goes. No! Copy that hidden code. Go to there. Go to there. And now I'm in my own stream. It's weird. No. I needed to do this anyway. I should do this most times. It's just, well, I usually forget. And then I pin the message at the top. That's what I'm supposed to do. I really should do it straight away. Even though it's in the description and it's on the channel. Pin it straight away. I know what YouTube's like. I'm not stupid. Well, I am. I'm daft as a friggin'. Yeah, I know, Graham, it's just lore, but How's working on a lot of lore as well, and to be quite honest, some of it's disturbing me. Not necessarily because it's overly bad, it's just because of the mind that it's coming from. And the fact that this mind has still got a lot to learn and still got the capability of learning extremely fucking quickly. So, with a little bit of help from people that may be able to input other things, I think, no pressure on you here, Hal, we may have a future comic book writer or just novelist. See, you're taking inspirations from a lot of known stuff, which is not unheard of. But there's enough of a spark in there of originality, at least as far as I can see. I do have to finish the 101 best sci-fi books, though, so I may have come across something else similar. I know I could link a few books to the ideas that you've put behind the Hellscape that run similar kind of things, but not quite in the way you're running them. So it's not like you're not copying them, and certainly sure that you've probably not read them to be able to go, yeah, that's a really good book. But I could reference you to a few things that have similar stuff. Some of them are quite acclaimed books, and yeah, with a bit of work on some of it, you may be able to write a book. I see the potential there, at least. And you're young enough to learn how to write a book, how to structure it, how to write dialogue, etc, etc, etc. However, you are young enough also to know what the comic book medium is. And as I said, you have good control over books. What I've seen from your digital art, the only thing it doesn't show is extreme detail. But as I said, you are still young enough to be able to learn, so potential comic book as well. What? Did I say something? No, okay. Why is my phone so dull? Because I've not turned the brightness up, because I'm an idiot. I'm wondering why I can't actually see what's going on in anything, and that's because I've not turned the brightness up, and I've just put this right in the way of the light. Coughing, and the humans still went, well, didn't look human. And the guy saw the kids scared, and he was like, so did you run? Nah, he probably turned around and tried to bit the fuck out of it, as you would, especially if you're going to be a potential protagonist, because of people will root for him, the underdog, human underdog particularly. People will root for them. However, flashing out particular characters, which is what Games Workshop do with characters such as Manius Kelgar, Dante, Gazgul Thraka, Commissar Yarrick, etc. They flesh them out to be likable, hateable, whatever the character needs to be. But every character does have a role. Even if it's only a minor role, NPCs have a role, even as small as they are, in books, films, games, anything. A bar doesn't look like a bar unless it's got patrons in it. So that's why you have a crap load of people that aren't saying anything really and aren't doing anything to the scene apart from filling up space, because that's what should be done. But particularly for any standout characters, yeah, personality and something to drag them towards people, something at least some people will connect to or enjoy about them, which is why Gazgul Thraka works just as a pure monstrous. Oh, nice. So that's why he's the Half Angel. I am looking forward to, I know within a year or so, there's got to be a new game coming out. Now, this is taking a complete left turn from what we're talking about a moment ago. How? Sorry. Brain think, no, yeah, maybe. I know in about a year or so, there's going to be a new game coming out, a tabletop game, not a computer game, for ship battles. I'm looking forward to this one. So I may attempt a bit of polystyrene work now that I've been inspired to make some asteroids and things to actually go on the battlefield. Now I'm going to have to really, I could do a dry brushing a few of these with silver rather than just keeping them all bronze, because I'm using a lot of bronze and it's not rusty, but yeah, there's something. I need to brine it up a bit along some edges, I think. I'll just dull it down a little bit, not have as much of it, but just have it so it's glinting. And then wash time. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I'm not making this game. So I do not know if there'll be demon ships. I think it's going to be mostly sci-fi tech. So this faction with photon cannons versus this faction with plasma type weaponry and shielding and ship sizings and various things like that. Think more Battlefleet Armada. That being said, because Battlefleet Armada is set in the Warhammer 40k universe, adding a demon faction in might be possible. I shall have a word. See what they think. Obviously, it's their creation. I can't. There's nothing to do. At no point got anything to do with the creation process of it. I'm just lucky enough to see this thing coming to life. And when it does, I'll let you all know. Because it's a much smaller scale as far as I'm aware. You don't necessarily need a 6x4 table in like a huge 40k table. I don't think. I think you could play it on a smaller skirmish size. But I'll have to see, because it's still in. Let's say what, alpha at the minute. Still in the alpha stage. Right, now we need some other colours. And they need to be speed paints. And washes. And other such things. Right, we'll start with the washes first. No, we'll start with the blue first. That makes more sense. Grey, black, grey, which we could use as a washes in the post. Where's the... Look, I had it like I had it a week ago. I put all them ones back in there. Where is my blue? Pallid flesh, grey, yellow, which I do need. Orange, which I don't anymore. Red, which I do. Skin, I don't. Purple, I don't. Green, I don't. Where on earth is the blue? I used it last week. Right, there's some more down there at the bottom. What are you? Come on. There is Vallejo brown, there's an orange, and Highland blue. There we go. It's probably a different Highland blue, but it'll work. Lucky, good evening. Hello, welcome in. And also Oakley, welcome back. Hello, welcome in. You've been in for a while. Yo, you alright? And you off to bed, Graham? No worries, mate. No worries. You have a nice night. Have a good sleep. And I shall have things sorted hopefully by tomorrow. I hope. Ooh. I've seen a solder with built-in flux. And that sounds good. It's supposed to have flux with solder, apparently. Getting all the blue bits that I missed that are now bright white. So nice still being in Discord. Well, as I said, just to make sure I didn't make that mistake of, yeah. Until I make a new role for people, just to essentially, I'll do what Almuth does: verify you're a person and give you just a base role, just to say no, just, they're allowed to stay in the server. So I'm going to pinch his idea to do that because it does sound like a good one. Well, it is a good one. It works as far as I'm aware. And when they do come in, you can tell which ones they are because they're the ones that don't post anything or do anything relevant to the overall nature of the. Even if it's just coming in and posting a picture of your kitty cat. So I can go, yeah, you're real. Or you and your kitty cat if you're so inclined. Some people just... I have nothing against people taking pictures of their animals. Their animals do cute things and do fun things. But every picture I've seen, or almost every picture I've seen of the human forcing the animal to take a picture with them, the animal does not look very good about it. That's just personal experience though. That's just personal. That could be wrong. You could have a really, really, really altruistic cat or a dog that's got, whenever it sees a camera, has to run in front of it and has to drag you along with him or her. But that's what I've seen. So that's where you have fluffy friends. You are already the community. So you're your third main faction now. So your third main faction now. Ooh. Right, how are we doing now? Do we want the cherry reds and the bright yellows and the dull yellows? And then we've got to wash all this. Oh no, we've not. We've got to paint in the rest of this. Painting the rest of this. Painting the rest. This is the most... That's the most annoying thing about this overall project. What do you mean something also flags your... What? That's peculiar. Yeah, I'm alright, Oakley. And good night, mate. Thank you for calling in. Thank you. I'm sorry I missed... I need to start paying attention more to portrait. Just as much attention as I pay to portrait as I do to horizontal, but horizontal pops up in this and it's easy to see and it's just more natural. And that thing that I got off Almuth just... Yeah, my computer just doesn't like running it over the top as an overlay. Which is the one that merges both of them in together. So I can respond all at once. It just doesn't want to work. It's just a little bit too much for my machine. Which is a shame. And the little green box that I have on the screen, unless I was to do that with it, and then do that with it, got no bloody chance of reading it. Obviously I'm going to shrink the portrait one way back down because it does need to be. However, get the right one. I can make that a bit bigger and move me down slightly. Oh, just House Watch. So it'll be a human faction that's going through and basically the local militia, I'm assuming. Unless these are another bunch of Star Raven lunatics and that, I don't know, feed off psychic brain waves until you mush. I don't know in these worlds you're creating. They're friggin' weird how they are. You got all the blue? You've done all the blue in the Blisters Dreadnought? You've posted it and went, excellent, I can have a look after stream. Problem is, Discord kind of stops me doing stuff unless I... Oh, that's not Inferno, sorry. Yeah, unless I specifically start clicking things. And clicking things doesn't always end well. I mean, I'm getting better at making it not go... But it can still happen. So... we try not to go clicky things too much, but I shall probably have a look through the work in progress and the finished model section at the end of this stream, I think, before I set the end credits going and the music by Almath, because it's PH, isn't it? You see, and this is why I said what I said, how you've got that many worlds going at the moment. You've got the ideas. It's the structuring of them, because you've got so many ideas that you put them into so many different things, and you're still working on quite a few of them. Just structurally, you might actually, yeah. This is coming from a guy who can't think straight, so don't take it too harsh. Or, yeah, it means nothing really, because I'm just nuts. Zealot yellow speed paint. Right. Oh no, red side, aren't we? We're on red side. Did I not pull the red out? I pulled the blue out, but did not pull the red out. Oh, I've got more red one first. Fire giant, orange, orange. Grave Lord. I know I found another red. There we go, blood red. So that's coming up there. My hand moved. That's coming up this side. Yeah, righteous flame. That's how you usually sanctify and burn things, and just make sure it's cleansed properly. Fire cleans very well. Unpainted model on a... No, that is unacceptable. That is unacceptable. If you're gonna have, if it's not the box, and the with the box art, of course, which will be painted, then it should be at least a painted representation. Look, even if they've got to go out and buy a box and paint it them goddamn selves, then it should be painted. And this is from coming from someone who's got a pile of shame that's fucking huge. I've not even started on the Imperial Guard yet. Or the Eldar. I've still got stuff to finish for the Tyranids. I mean, 2,000 points is more than is painted well enough, so I'm alright for playing. But yeah, there's still stuff I've got to pay over for the Tyranids. Loads of things I've got to pay over the Space Marines, and yeah, I've done. Even though I'm doing this for the Orcs, and I've got other stuff to do for the Orcs. I've still got a lot of Orcs to do as well. Night how? You have fun at school tomorrow, and I will see you next time. It's bank holiday, mate. Don't worry, you get an extra day off. And it's one day before the weekend, you'll be sorted. All mine are in a 6.5 foot pile in that room. Sparkles will not let me keep them in the living room for obvious reasons. Because if it's a 6.5 foot pile of boxes, and that's not including the actual table itself and all this, like two tables to play it on, as well as the 6 foot by 4 foot GW plastic hill table or hill mat thing. I can understand why she doesn't let me keep it in the living room, but it is taking up a lot of space in that room, and that's kind of the hallways. Although you don't need to walk into that section to use it, it is still the hallway. So I really could do with sorting out. But I need more room for that. And I don't have it. I don't even think shelvings would help at this moment in time, to be quite honest. I do not think shelving would help. Yellow! I know this takes a lot of turning round. And then a lot of... Right, yellow. This is weird now, because now you're looking out right down there. I'm hoping nothing... No, it should be okay. Okay, Zealot yellow. Which is the yellow that's mostly over there, and this will be getting a dry brush with flash kits, just to make sure it's getting the full yellow spectrum-y look, or at least getting some sections painted with flash kits. My wet palette's on an angle, that's not good. I think that might have mixed a little bit in with the red. Son of a... Put the yellow completely away from the red. Put the yellow down here. It looks fucking orange. Not much difference between it and the red, to be quite honest, once it's on the palette. So for all I know, I have just mixed a load of the yellow in with the red to do that bit inside there. I hope not. can always do this on the two sides where they need filling in. Hopefully without taking too much of the shine away. And I can do red on that side. I can do red on that side. Just a pre-warning, those of you who have been here many times before, or at least more than twice I would imagine, because it's definitely happened. I will be going for a small break soon. Now, that could be anything from 5 minutes to 10 minutes-ish. But it's more than enough time for people to refresh brews, go to the toilet, get yourself a drink, snack, take a bit of a break yourself, have a stretch. Because sitting in one position-ish is not always advisable. So I advise you take the opportunity. And please do come back though. Please do come back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put the lights in front of it again. After I've done a bit more washing. But I'm going to go for Gravelord this time because I seem to have lots of that shit. Gravelord Grey Speed Paint I'm going to use instead of Null Oil. Just because I seem to have crap loads of that stuff and I always seem to lose my Null Oil or run out of it. Now I want a big chunky brush. Or a big long brush that's going to get enough on it. And in this case I do not want it to be on a wet palette either. I would like it to be on a dry palette. Oh, no, that one's clear enough. That'll do. A big old splodge of it out. Wet my brush, but I don't want it to be too wet. Just want it to be wet enough so that it's not cracked. In fact, let's try a bit of speed paint on the actual palette and see if it does make a bit of a difference, because it's got to go over. These sections and these sections, because they're all incredibly bright. They're all incredibly bright. They're all incredibly bright. So we got to dull them down now. We've got to dull them down now. We've got to dull them down now because Orkies ain't that bright.
But we fought and win, because we's the Orcs and we's the best.
But boss, you lost last time. Ah!
Don't you say nothing, you do. You just nothing to know on you. We win. We're still here, aren't we? We won. We won. Orcs won. It's all that matters. You shut up.
Well, I'm using speed paint on a wet palette because I'm trying to thin it down slightly to use it more as a wash, rather than a speed paint as such. I just want it to, I want it to grimy it up a little bit, just stop it looking neat, shiny. It's Orcs after all. It's going to be, yeah, all sorts. So I want it thinned out as is my basic plan. And then if we can get this done to a sufficient degree, I don't want to do these bottom two las cannons that are only visible on portrait. So these two right down here, I don't want to do them because they're very, 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 very fragile, and they're prone to moving because there isn't much to glue them to in this window. So I've done the best that I could within it, but it doesn't work very well. So yeah, I've got a bit of speed paint on in a dry palette, so I can use it as a speed paint. And I've got a bit of speed paint on a wet palette, so I can use it at the wash. Can be clever. Or at least me thinks me is. How clever is someone who goes me thinks me is, rather than I think I am? Obviously not that bloody clever, are they? I've got some contrast medium, but it's not quite the thing that I want it to do. Because that only thins it down as far as a contrast. I mean, I know you can add more and more and more and more and more, but essentially you just add a little bit of water and it does the same thing. And a wet palette just adds a slight touch of water, not too much. So it's a slightly thicker wash, but it still shows, it's still semi-transparent, so that when it gets in the recesses you can still see the main colour coming through. Tried and tested. It works to a sufficient degree. I'm sorry for getting in the way of the light, because that'll adjust the camera. Yeah, I forgot I've got paint down there as well. Right down the middle of these two. In fact, I might throw a little bit of a thicker layer in the middle of there. Just to... and then just to get rid of some of that lighter shade. And stop the pipework standing out. I know this looks like a complete mess. This looks like a complete mess, I'm aware of this. Hopefully once I've done this small dry brushing, or maybe not even needing it if I can get it without streaks, but get it in the correct place. Should really use a bigger brush for this sometimes. No, it's this side I need to get. Just to break those few red sections up. Because although I do want you to be able to see all the stuff on it, the main feature is going to be the lights. That's going to draw your attention because there's going to be lights all over it. Which between me and Graham, who I'll be sending a spare kit out to Monday, maybe even tomorrow. Hopefully I should have a working Bluetooth speaker with lights that fits perfectly underneath where the band stands. And if it does, that's when I can give it the first actual test. Like, right, okay, let's play that music, which will be on display, which will be playing while I'm on my break, so you probably have to listen to it about 19 times. You should all know the words by the end of it. Not that there's many. I'm going. How do you know, Lucky? How do you know water makes it behave differently? And is it anything to do with pigment distribution? Just out of curiosity. Right, so let's turn this round so it can be seen, and we'll reposition the camera so it does actually show. Ah, so water makes it far runnier, is what you're saying. Water has that big of an effect that it becomes like so much runnier. And don't tell me you've just unclipped from there, you son of a... Right, clip onto the bit you're supposed to clip onto. Thank you. Because the lovely people at home would like to see this playing again. Oop, wrong way around. Where did I put the lights? There they are. And just because they are a bunch of Christmas lights, so it's way too runny, right. So watering it down quite literally does water it down. But that's why you usually do it on the wet palette as opposed to actually using water. You'll put it on the wet palette. If I put it on the wet palette, it only slightly dilutes it. They need to be spread more that way. Oh no, they don't, because you've got to be speakers in the way, aren't they? So they are essentially one big clump around the middle there, because there's going to be a speaker there and a speaker there. Drummer's going to have to... The band can't go on. I just realised the band are going to have to go. Down in front, because all the rest has been washed. Ah well. You got all the mediums, got wall paste stabilizer, retard. I've got some dry retarder actually, and some other stuff. I'm not sure what it is. I've got contrast medium. I've not got the express colour from Vallejo though. I could do with some more airbrush medium. In fact, is that flow improver I've got there? Yeah, I've got flow improver, so that's for the airbrush. That's urethane, and that's an empty primer bottle. But yeah, a lot of... I've got a couple of things that aid with airbrushing and speed painting, but it's not too much. Okay, I am going to go for that break that I mentioned a moment ago. So anyone who wishes to catch up and cup of tea, go get yourself some snacks, come back and we'll start working on trying to brighten the sides up. Hopefully. As well as the plasma points up here as well, which you can't see from that angle, but them blue bits. Try and brighten up some of those as well. In the meantime, though, please enjoy. Let's see if I could ever get the damn thing started on time.
the best. That's dead or nice. You just get garbage. More dagger. Dagger, 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 dagger. Go down, boys. Get crappy. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. Go down, boys. Get crappy. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. Jokes, always ready to fight and win. Great is always the best. That's dead or nice. You just get garbage. More dagger. Dagger, 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 dagger. Go down, boys. Get crappy. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. Go down, boys. Get crappy. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. With jokes, always ready to fight and win. Great is always the best. That's dead or nice. You just get garbage. More dagger. Dagger, 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 dagger. Go down, boys. Get crappy. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. Go down, boys. Get crappy. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. With jokes, always ready to fight and win. Great is always the best. That's dead or nice. You just get garbage. More dagger. Dagger, 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 dagger. Go down, boys. Get crappy. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. Go down, boys. Get crappy. Go down, boys. They're stuck dead or not. You just get garbage. More dagger. Dagger, 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 dagger. Go down, boys. Get crunky. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. Go down, boys. Get crunky. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. Jokes, always better fun and great is always the best. That's dead or not. You just get garbage. More dagger. Dagger, 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 dagger. Go down, boys. Get crunky. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. Go down, boys. Get crunky. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. With jokes, always better fun and great is always the best. That's dead or not. You just get garbage. More dagger. Dagger, 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 dagger. Go down, boys. Get crunky. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. Go down, boys. Get crunky. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. Jokes, always better fun and great is always the best. That's dead or not. You just get garbage. More dagger. Dagger, 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 dagger. Go down, boys. Get crunky. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys. Go down, boys. Get crunky. Go down, boys. They're stuck in, boys.
That's better. I can be seen now. Oh, the red wording's me. Ha. Right. So, hopefully, move these out of the way for display purposes. That's about the closest it's ever come to looking how it's supposed to actually finish, be when it's finished. Although these are actually supposed to be a wall of lights as opposed to just the Christmas tree lights. These are supposed to go all around there. Although I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them synced up with the music. So there will be some synced up with the music. Hopefully, that's the idea, because of the little, the thing that I keep blowing bulbs on. Looking good job, about 100 of each. Army Painter Airbrush Medium is flowing proof plus thinner. Comes in a 100ml bottle. Ooh, this is going to cost me a fortune when me and Northern end up going back to Element Games. It's going to cost me a fucking fortune, and I'm supposed to be going there to play. Not all of this has dried yet, and I do not have dry faster the machine. So that's not good, but I should be able to work on some more of the blue that I've missed. So I'm going to do something that I probably shouldn't do, and that's do that with this. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm mostly scared because of the position this is in, and it is not the most stable thing in the world. Most of the stability is got to come from the Bluetooth speaker that box that's going to be going in. That's eventually going to be going in this space here. That's where most of it's got to be coming from. And until that point, then, well, I don't really have much going on in the way of stability. Right. So I'm okay actually for under there, I believe. It's all relatively shiny and dirty and orky looking. I'm doing alright so far. But I do need to touch up a few of the plasma sections up here, because it's not gone down into the recesses like I want it to. It's more dormant power cells than charged and active power units, because, well, it's not going to shoot off plasma, it's going to shoot off whatever the Arc Sting 6 should shoot off. So it might shoot off rockets, it might shoot off exploding things. It's just not going to perform as designed. That bit is for certain. Now I need flash kits and dry brushes. And I also need Evil Sun Scarlet to do this side. Because as nice as it is, the back needs to be the same. Now, I know I always take my breaks not too long before the end of the stream, which sucks, I know. But I am a nicotine addict and it needs to be done, sadly. Because I put the box around my thingy now, it's weird. Right. Get you in a position where it's at least showing what I'm doing and where I'm working. some red on the wet palette. Get something to not kitchen roll, because that takes too much bloody water off. Which is why I usually end up using my hand. And it's like, yeah, that bit, and then that. Yeah, that bit's about right. Stabilize it. And again, just trying to brighten up some of the areas that I think will need it. Oh, that was a bit pure. That was a bit pure. Some of the art glitter were just a little bit dull. Wow, that could do with actually being painted. Just flat out paint it red. You've not got anything, so you could do with a bit of colour as well. Aha! Right, now let's move on to yellow, and then hopefully these bits have dried, so I can come back and dry brush them with a bit of some kind of metallic. I'll probably try and go for lead belcher again. How well did that get the red out? I'm not sure. Where have I dropped my kitchen roll? Found it. This is when you actually want to use it, because you're cleaning off and you want the pigment to come off. All of it, if you can get it. And then wet the brush again if necessary and go back at it just to clean the brush off. Because I'm not using my Masters soap midstream, because it'll take ages. It does take ages. It takes a long time. So now it's Flashgate Yellow to do the other side. And now I end up with a red and yellow hand. Okay. Right. Let's come back in with the sculpt there. This section around that. Some of the teeth on there that got a little bit too much. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that section. Some of the teeth got a little bit too much of the contrast on there. The spanner seems to be okay though. Clean up that line section in there, and a bit more on that. Same with that section, and now come in and do these. Don't want to brighten it up too much along all the edges, but certainly along the top edges. In fact, in this case, I'm also going to come in and just catch in there and try and get on here a bit more. Just because it's showing more orangey than yellow around there, and I'm not quite happy with it. Particularly around that section, I want it to at least have some yellow all the way down to the bottom, and red seems to have spilt over quite a lot in here. So I just want to get some brighter yellow in, and then it's more of a clear distinction of the two, even though it's still kind of mixed along the line and it's not even. Not even. Right, let's grab the silver back out after we've cleaned the yellow. Although I'll probably use the other dry brush to do the silver. And I'll just work all that colour in, and now I'm going to go over it again with silver and layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. That's the way this works. Small layers all the time. That's definitely going to need some Master's soap. So yes, I am better off using the other brush. Yellow's a pain. Yellow is a real pain in the ass. Bruce should be ready to have some drink as well in a minute. Yep. That's a nice brew. The second one at night, he seems to always be better than the first. I don't know why. Especially on stream, the second brew seems to be better than the first. Ah, fuck. Put some silver on the... See, I'm going to put like 3 layers of paint on the back of my hand tomorrow. It's going to be awkward to scrub off. But skin does a better job, as far as I'm concerned, than rubber gloves. It just means I have to get essentially a scrubber. A nice scrubbing brush. I have a scrub mama. There we go. I don't want to take too much of the yellow away. I just want to add that bit of shine. Same over here with the reds. I don't want to take the red away. I just want to add a little bit of shine on it. Which is essentially, rather than using the colour, I want to use the metallic flakes that are in the colour, so that if light catches it, it just adds that little bit of metalish to it. overall, because it is. I know I've got some underneath, and it's got some shining within the candy red that I've managed to do over the. That needs gluing down that wiggle way too much. That needs sticking down somewhere else. That does. Now I've got to wash this because now I need a very, 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 very light dry brush of ivory over. Oh no! I need the other one back. I need the small one. I'm going to have to give it an extra clean and see if I can get rid of this yellow, because yellow's not going to work. Yellow really is not going to work. I'm going to need ivory to go over the blue. It's going to have to be very, very, very light, which is why I need a small dry brush. Oh well. It's done a good job to get the majority of it out, I think. Got to work it out of there, work it out of there. Let's take the pigment off. Let's get all the pigment out. There we go, getting better there, getting closer. Dampen it to help it move. And let's carry on. Let's carry on. Twisted, what time is it? Is it lunchtime? Or dinner time? It's Thursday, so it's not tacos. Which I know you probably don't go in for as a whole Taco Tuesday thing, but I know a lot of Americans do. I don't get it, but we don't really do tacos over here in the UK. We make them. Sandwich. Yeah. I'll have a butty. I prefer a butty to a. Yeah. Why was I dry brushing this off? Oh yeah, ivory. Very, very, very small amount. Don't need a lot. I use this way too much. Come on. I'm probably going to need like 3 more ivories and 2 more bolt guns by... I'm going to spend like 60 quid just to go play a game, even if you don't have to rent the table. Just because I want various different paints and things while I'm there. Although there is the likelihood I will not be buying Games Workshop paints, and if Pro Acryl do have an option of Vallejo, have the option, I will more than likely go with those. I'm not overly keen on the tonnage of the Duncan Road stuff. Games Workshop, I don't particularly enjoy transferring the pots, so I don't transfer the pots, and the pots are horrible. You end up wasting a lot of paint just because, well, the pots are shit. The paints aren't that bad really. If they have a lot of different shades of brown and different shades of grey, which can be useful if you've not got them. But sometimes you just want that bolder colour, like the blues and the reds and the yellows. You want more your fantasy based colours. You see, that's why I it's open the pot, get a little bit out, put it on the wet palette, shut the pot, put it away. The amount of known oil I have spilled over my desk, the gross earth shades I've spilled over my desk. This desk is permanently damaged, as well as the cutting mat that I've used to cover it in the working place. All permanently damaged because, yeah, Games Workshop pots are shit. That's why. I found places that have had the speed paint like being dry brushed ivory. And it helps me bring out some of the really high edges, especially on things like the teethy studs, and even this little dude's going to get a bit of a dry brush before he gets another wash of some green. See, I'm at a loss at the moment. As you can see, that is the majority of the... There we go. So that's the entire front so far without adding any lights or electrical equipment. Even from the top, slight variances in colour. There is some in there. So apart from Gretchen and just fine-tuning certain things. Oh no, I see a big splotch of yellow there that needs doing. So we start with this one, and then that should do it. Don't ask me why I changed my accent to the nice little one that would do that things. I don't understand me half the time. Things happen, brain talks, sometimes mouth listens. True, they do resemble bolts of bullets. That's probably why they look like that. I wonder, is that could be why they look like that and they are that shape, because they're supposed to be bolter bullets. Oh, that's interesting. I've never thought of that. Food for thought, at least, I suppose. Right, let's have a look at these questions that I've got to go on it, and these don't have bases, so these will be getting glued once I'm happy with the actual stage itself. These will be getting glued in place, but these are going to need a slight dry brush just like him, so yay, might as well carry on. Although I do have to be up early in the morning, and I've just remembered that. Oh, not a good time to remember it, but still. No, too wet. Because although I want them to have the colour and I want them to be seen, I don't want them to stand out too far from there. But with a wash over it with something like a Quelly green shade, it'll change that to what it is into something else. I may be slightly unorthodox in my methoding. As someone found out earlier on today, nothing of mine is normal. Apparently M.2 hard drives are supposed to lie down. Mine's sticking straight out of the motherboard. Nothing about me goes normally right. Although I've just realised I'm probably going to have to download this video. I may have to do some editing, or at least cutting anyway. And now that I've got a nice new hard drive without my games on, as opposed to everything on one hard drive, I've now got space to download it. Because just a single run through with the actual Christmas tree lights on. Or I may have to film a video and just add the music to it. Which might be odd. We might actually get a video. The problem is, right, motherboard like that, M.2 like that. Yeah, so there's nothing I can screw it into because it's protruding straight out of the board. Because I was looking, thinking, well, how the friggin' hell am I supposed to screw this in? Because where you screw it down, it's just floating in mid-air. That's what 2 other people asked today. So I sent them a photograph and both of them turned around and went, I have never seen that before in my life. And it's an old board. It's like a 10-year-old, maybe even older board. The fact that it takes it surprises me. But I've got another one which does actually lie down. Yeah, I'd never seen anything like it either. I've changed laptops, I've changed PS3s, I've even seen my mate's PCs, and he's got one in there, and all of them, yeah, lie down screw. I've even got one where, now I know anyway, that I've got one that does lie down where I can screw it down. So I may change over the socket. But the first one, when I looked at the schematics of the board, because I had to go online to get it and find out what board it was, the only M.2 it actually labelled was the one that made it stand, like, just stand out of the board. It was weird. It's still weird, but I might change it over to the one that actually lies down now, though. Because now that I'm aware of it, I can do that and I can screw it in. It just makes it more stable and it puts it closer to the heatsink as well. So it makes sense. Can't do it at the minute, obviously. Yeah, see, I've got one that lies down near the GPU, and then I've got 2 that stand up. One's near the RAM, and one's underneath the GPU, the graphics card, at the moment, because the graphics card's long enough to cover the port in the PCIe slot that it's in, and I can't drop it to the lower PCIe slot because then the fan's covered by the power supply, which isn't another fan. So I can't move my graphics card to get access to the other one, which also stands directly out of the board. Bloody bizarre. Yeah. But I'm just happy I can get an M.2 drive to work, because that means I can play Space Marine 2, I can play Helldivers 2, and I can play other newer games that require an SSD. Do you want to see it yourself? Do you genuinely want to see that? Well, I'm pretty much done for the stream tonight, so fair enough. Don't mention anything about anything else on it, because, well, inside of my computer is cleaning at the moment. So, no. And I will send you the message. I was about to say, what are you called again on the disc? Well, you're a dick. Oh crap, no. Oh, somebody joined tonight. Who joined tonight in Discord? If you're still here, can you just let me know? Because I don't recognize the name from YouTube, and it gets confusing Where are you? There you are. See, Lucky Knife was smart enough. He uses a different name on Discord, but he puts in brackets Lucky Knife because that's where everyone bloody knows him from, I'm assuming. Right, let's send you this picture of the most bizarre M.2 drive you've ever seen in your life. It's just weird. There you go. And on that very strange note, thank you everybody who came to... Why is that not working? Why is my camera frozen? It's got a habit of doing this at the moment. Change from USB to OBS, thank you. Change from OBS to USB, yay, hey. Ta-da, wow, it works. Yeah, exactly. That is a completely new one on everybody I ever tell it to. But the thing is, I've seen that you're supposed to screw them down, and I do have one underneath my graphics card that's not blocked that I can screw down. The third one is blocked off by my graphics card. It's bizarre. But yes, this is the end of tonight. As I said, I've got to be up early in the morning, sadly. Thank you everybody who came in. Lucky, Buzzard, Twisted, How. I'm forgetting names. I know Graham was in at some point. Louis came in. Thank you, Louis. Louis, you actually got to see one live as well, of all things, live. And Two Clutch came in. Don't always going further back. I know we had more people than that in, as well as everybody over on Portrait Mode. I'm so sorry that I missed you all. But yeah, that's it for tonight. I'll not torture you with another one of Ark. However, yes, it is time for me to go, so please drive safe everyone, and I will see you on Monday at 9:30 UK time.